everyone, I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Vince!
And I'm Troy.
And it's time once again
To recommend things!
Vince!
Yes!
What do you recommend today?
One of three things today. The first one. Alright. I'm recommending a movie you've probably never heard of. It's a little, it's a little indie flick that nobody's ever heard of. The Manchurian Candidate. Now, I know what you're thinking. I've never heard of this movie. How did you find this movie, Vince? Well, I went to my local video store and they handed me this thing called a DVD and I decided to buy it. I thought it was a worthwhile thing. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. The Manchurian Candidate.
20 minutes trying to figure out how to play it.
How do you shove this into your record player?
And then another 30 trying to rewind it.
No, you're positive I don't have to clean the heads?
All the silver stuff got scratched off in the process. Anyway, no, don't ruin your DVDs. So I'm recommending the Manchurian Candidate, not the Denzel Washington one, which I've not seen. I'm recommending the 1962 one, the one where Angela Lansbury was, or Angela Lansbury, however you say her name. I don't know, but she wrote murder, and that's what I know about her. But she was nominated for an Oscar for this picture, and usually I try to find something that's a little underground or a little out of the way for most people, but this one I think is solid enough, and it's old enough that maybe some of our younger viewers hasn't seen it, and if they do decide to watch the Manchurian Candidate,
I was English, Vince, really.
I don't care, but I don't even know what I said.
Maybe some of our younger viewers hasn't seen it.
Maybe some of our younger viewers, like a small portion of one of our younger viewers, has not seen this movie.
Just their thighs.
My foot was not in the room.
A small portion of them.
Anyway.
Their toes are in the shoes, so they can't see the movie. Poor neglected toes. But what do I have to say about this movie? It's extremely solid. Like there's not a whole lot of chasing. There's not a whole lot of shooting. This movie is very much so a large group of people sitting together, talking to each other up until the climax, and it's a lot of interesting, and it's a lot of it's very fast paced. It's very well paced, and
unlike Jury Duty, which would be a similar concept.
Jury Duty sitting there together talking about being brainwashed.
Oh, you mean actually going to jury duty?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking, what is he talking
Isn't there a movie called Jury Duty?
Yes, and it was just breaking my brain. I
forgot about that.
In what way? Okay, anyway.
There was a movie. Anyway, I recommend the Manchurian Candidate. I mean, I always hear people say that this is a political thriller, like such a political thriller movie. Well, yeah, it does have to do with politics, but it's also a science fiction film because it has a lot to do with people being brainwashed and sort of pioneers in the brainwashing process. And
so interesting. I've never heard anyone describe it like that.
What's bizarre to me is that nobody describes this as science fiction, because how many people do you see walking around brainwashed? Well, you wouldn't, because they're brainwashed and you wouldn't know.
What year is it?
1962. But
have you looked at popular music?
Well, no, you're not wrong. But that's what it is.
That was a little political for me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know you that well, but it was definitely political.
So, okay.
That's why I'm recommending this movie, is because I think a lot of people think it just gets lost in this whole political craze, and they're like, oh, it's a political movie. I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican, and I must see a political movie. Well, no, it's also a science fiction movie, and
you're also Mojo Jojo, apparently.
Oh, Mojo Jojo runs for president, but. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot more to say about this movie that would ruin things. I highly recommend it. I don't care if you're 14 or 40, this movie's totally worth seeing. If you're 40, you've probably seen this movie. But if you're 14, you've probably not seen this movie, so there you go. I recommend it.
I commend you for recommending older movies. This is like twice in a row you've done older movies. That's really cool. And the other thing is way to recommend movies that were later remade. You know what I mean? They go, hey, by the way, the old ones are worth seeing too.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know whether the new ones... Denzel Washington's a solid actor, but I don't know whether or not the new one's good. The old one's fantastic. There's a reason why somebody was nominated for an Oscar.
You're always going to have a generation, though, with a remake who is not aware of the original.
Yeah,
you're always going to have that. So good on you.
Yeah. So what do you recommend?
Today I'm going to recommend a book called The Everything Guide to Writing Graphic Novels. Another of my writing books that I like to recommend. This is by Mark Ellis and Melissa Martin Ellis, and this is just what it sounds like. What's really cool about it is most of the art that it's showing off is indie stuff that you have never seen before, and it's treating graphic novels as a medium, not just a superhero thing. which is really nice. A lot of times when you get drawing books for comics, it's usually superhero. Really, a lot of the ones I've got are how to draw superheroes. And I mean that's good because superheroes are great. But it's nice to see something treated for what it is. It's a medium. You can tell any kind of story you want to in comic books. And so
it can channel ghosts. It's a medium. It's pretty cool.
Better than a TV show, The Medium.
Are you talking about actual mediums or the TV show?
She's a medium of the show.
Making fun of your jury. Anyway, I want you to pay attention. It's what we in the field call a callback. It's a callback. Anyway, but this has a lot of. It's really smart. There's a lot of good chapters on various, obviously, parts of writing graphic novels.
It teaches you how to hold a pen.
It talks about script writing. It talks about the various ways to do comic book scripts, because unlike other mediums, there are a lot of different ways to write a comic book script, and it has an entire chapter devoted to comics as a collaborative medium, how to deal with the fact that there are so many different people who work on a comic book, and how to get all those people to work well together, that sort of thing. And it's got a lot of good advice about just fiction writing in general. I especially like the dialogue section, which makes the point that I'm always making. I like things that make the points I make. That is talking about real sounding dialogue versus realistic dialogue. Those are two different things, and the first one is the thing you want to do, and the second one is not nearly as important. And so anyway, it's quite good. It's quite thorough. Like I said, it's good for writers and artists, and that's about all I want to say about it, really.
We should do a topic on writing for collaborative mediums, or directing or acting in collaborative mediums, things like that. That'd be a cool topic.
Yeah,
I think so.
because it's different.
Yeah,
and
we now have documented
on improv, because that's all the improv is.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the most
sure.
collaborative medium.
Yeah, that might actually turn out to be a podcast. Who knows?
I think it ought to be. That's good. That's good. And it'll be another one of those where I say, and today's question comes from Vince.
I'd like to ask Geekvolution a question.
Go ahead, Gomer Pyle.
I don't want to have the bucket on my head anymore. Is that okay?
No! Hey, Troy, what do you recommend?
I'm recommending the last book in a series of 3 currently that are my favorite science fiction fantasy crossover books I've ever read in my life. The author's name is Matthew Stover. This book is Caine Black Knife, which is, like I said, the 3rd in the series. The first, all 3 of them kind of reference each other, but each can stand alone. You can get enough of the backstory from the previous one by reading the one you want to read. Matthew Stover, the basic premise is that our world has tapped into another world where we can send people and they can first-person view our adventures. That other world is a medieval world, essentially, or not dragons or anything like that. More of a Game of Thrones style of, not just like the newest edition from HBO, Game of Thrones, but Game of Thrones in the sense it's much more of a game of houses. It's political based rather than super magic and dragons and goblins and things like that.
I was playing chess the other day and desperately trying to find the throne piece. Can't find it. I hear it's a game, but where's the thrones?
Also, if you read these books and like them, Matthew Stover has a new edition with the same character coming out next February called Caine's Law, which, once you read the books, you'll understand how apt of a title that is for that character, Caine, the main character in these books. Fantastic read. Very well recommended.
Good job.
Yeah,
Caine's Law sounds good.
Caine's Law sounds like there'd be a lot of killing Abel in there. You're totally allowed to do that.
And yay for recommending books.
Yeah.
One of the things that reminds me of a really funny quote by Moby. Moby talks about, when he was on MTV Cribs, he was talking about how everybody shows off their television sets and their big pools or their indoor basketball courts, and he showed off his bookshelf. Because if people don't read, when you're on a date with somebody and you go back to their apartment afterwards and they don't have any books, you might want to think about maybe not procreating with that person. Because they're probably not very smart. Anyways.
On that note, thanks everybody for watching us recommend things, and Vince and I will be back for you to recommend more stuff next week. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Vince!
And I'm Troy.
And we'll see you next time.